Okay. My name is Santi Khairassame, and I partner with schools here in New York, helping them get set up with EdTech. So a big part of what I do is helping them get set up with Google Apps. All right. As a New Yorker, we expect certain things like excellence, speed, and efficiency. Right. I think a perfect example of that is the New York City Department of Education. It's a real picture. So in my 6 years helping schools get set up with Google Apps, I've seen what works and what challenges can arise. And so my talk is going to be on the things that consistently work in New York schools. Because at the end of the day, all jokes aside, we want things to work for our students. We want our students to learn and achieve, and we want to use things that actually, get results and help elevate their learning. Right? So the first thing that I feel works is domain name mindfulness. Okay? Has anybody encountered a school that has a domain name that is a tad bit too long? It's enormous. People don't think about it. You sign up for Google Apps and you just throw out a domain name. You need to be mindful of that because this is a domain name that you're going to be typing in for the life of your Google Apps. And so it's like naming your kid. You want to choose something that's short, easy to remember. I graduated from that school. It was tough. All right, so here are some examples. Again, you want to pick something that's short, easy to remember, and be mindful of the extensions as well. I think .org works really well. Sometimes .pizza, depending. So the next thing is you want to start small. Okay. So I know it's tempting to want to start using, say, Google Docs from the get-go, but it's really important to start small with a few pioneer teachers to start a small pilot. Because what happens is that when you have these pioneer teachers, they start to generate buzz from their other teacher partners, right? And so then that generates that intrinsic interest. I think that one of the best things is when you work with students and the students are asking teachers to use these tools, right? Talk about motivation. So just keeping in mind, it's all a process. It all takes time, all right? You wanna have a solid foundation so you can build on that. And maybe you'll get to that magic square after some good planning, realizing that it's a process. Next is hardware, right? There's a reason that the Chromebook has 51% of sales in the EdTech market in schools. It's because they're easy to set up, as we heard, easy to manage, they're inexpensive, and they work. They work really well, But in addition to using hardware, you need to have professional development with that. You need to have that proper training. Because, amen. Without PD and hardware, it's like giving your teachers soup without a spoon. It's like, we got hardware, great. Where's the PD? Aha, right? You need them both together. If anybody's seen Coming to America, yes. Okay, cool. So when you do PD, you don't just focus on the technical, you want to focus on the instructional too, right? And so yeah, you have teachers lead PD, but you know what? Think about having students lead PD. Next week, I work with a school where teachers are leading a PD session on how they're using Google Sites to create digital portfolios. Students are great, they have a lot of great ideas, so you want to be creative with it. Next, you want to get your administration on board, right? As much as we want to believe that change comes from the bottom up, generally speaking, change comes from the top down, right? And so you want to have your administration on board to create sort of that environment for collaboration and success, right? And so how do you get your administration on board? There's a lot of great benefits on why you should use Google Apps. So you just have a conversation with them, and then the big sell is that it's free, right? And then hot dogs are in there for some reason. Who knows? Lastly, you want to establish student expectations, right? So schools get so caught up in, we gotta create the emails, we gotta set up the groups, we gotta register for the domain, but we don't have a conversation with our students about why we're using these tools in the first place, right? So you wanna have that conversation with them. Instead of focusing on what to filter, you focus on digital citizenship. You focus on how can students protect themselves, because we can't protect them from every, bad comment or nasty email. So you just gotta teach them how to protect themselves online. So these are the things that I went over, all right? And again, these are the things, so I set up a lot of schools with Google Apps, and I feel like these are the things that consistently work, all right? And they don't just work in New York. I feel like these will work in any school where we're trying to, trying to get results. So my name is Santi. If you need me, I'll probably be by the bar right now. So thank you.